This morning I had a dream, very disturbing dream, of a woman who was with an absolute brute of a husband. She had, partner. She had a couple of children, and she was white, shall we say, and he was brown. Unfortunately, we have a great deal of this in New Zealand, and I think we might actually be the highest in the world for domestic violence. Well, this poor woman, was just terrified, but trying, to look defiant, trying to look brave, trying to be as brave as she possibly could. And I didn't know what could be done for her. I knew, I couldn't intervene, that this was a marriage of some kind, and it was not my business. I also knew I could not go to the police. The state in New Zealand has got, even our commissioner has been, and many in the police have been corrupted, have been stood down for things I can't even mention, but unbelievable stuff. So this is the Deputy Commissioner who was going to be the Commissioner of Police. And worldwide, it is being reported that in traffic, King, that these poor women are, going to the police, or that are being rescued, and the police are actually handing them back to the abusers. So this morning, I thought, well, Lord, what can I do? Why did I dream that? And I was so blessed to find this video, because I've never been into watching the, Edgar Casey or Delores Cannon and those sort of things, because where I came from as a born-again Christian, anything like that was actually, totally banned, no way. And so, we were just put into this box, and unfortunately a lot of Christians, most of them, are still in that box. And what is about to happen is going to terrify them, because, we are going to have, an alien revelation. And as I've shown you in many videos, the prophecies of Jacques Nietzscheman, who was a French psychic, who they obviously bumped off, and as well as totally debunked all his videos. They even went to great lengths to make videos, showing what a fraud he was. He was no fraud, and so, he prophesied Chernobyl, he prophesied so many things back in the late 60s, early 70s. So it's Jacques Nietzscheman. I will put the link. If I don't, give me a yell and give me the hi-ho, whatever. So behind me is my painting of Job, who can open the doors of his face. His teeth are filled with terror. He beholdeth all things that are high. He is king over all the children of pride. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye seeth thee. Wherefore I abhor myself and repent in dust and ashes. Repentance is what we're going to need most of all. This is speaking of the end times, who can open up the doors of his face. That is talking about the Ouroboros, the arrow that goes into Ouroboros, and I believe that is Donald Trump. His Trump building, everything is in the shape of this arrow, and he has these arrows on the outside. I've shown you that, I believe, on a Robert Sefer video. But anyway, he's the arrow, so he is the one, just like Jesus was the one who was the arrow into this to stop the cycle, because the Ouroboros, the number 8, infinity, it just goes round and round and round, and until there's someone that comes and actually stands up and shoots an arrow and says no more. So that's what Trump is, and now this whole galactic thing, that's about to happen. I had the dream that I had this morning. I've just finished it off. She was absolutely terrified, but she was trying so hard to be strong. And I was standing outside, and I, it reminded me of a friend of mine who also, because the police and the world is so corrupt, my friend lives in an old Masonic meeting place, and those places are absolutely impenetrable. And this intruder came, and I asked her how in the world did he get in, and she said through the roof. I'm like, oh my gosh! She rang 111, and they wouldn't even send anybody. She was sitting in the car with the cat I gave her, in the car outside, petrified because she thought he was still in there, and they just told her, oh, go and visit a friend or something. This is at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, so this is what's happening, and same thing with me. I recently, heard noises across the river which sounded like a woman was going to be killed, and one person had already run for their lives. I rang emergency. They didn't even ring me back. I never got through. They didn't even ring me back the next day. So they're just, we're left to look after ourselves. So this morning it was like, Lord, what could I do for her? What could I do? And so I'll just take you to this, because it just made so much sense of where I live and all the reasons that I have seen the signs, because of what my position is. We don't all have the same position, but, yours might, the more people that understand what I understand, the quicker that we are going to get the help that we need. And this movie talks about, this video talks about a movie and how we've been watching this movie for 70 years. Well, you might remember the dream I had with my step-grandson, that I was at a movie, and it was the worst movie of all time, and all the people were just getting up, walking out in disgust. And but I knew, what it was all about. I'd been there, and my step-grandson, he was down at the end of the row, and sitting down there. And so I just went along and sat next door to him, and we had a little joke together. And then the usher came and brought me a newspaper that I had left there the day before. So that dream was telling me that yeah, I know, and it was so funny because I actually went to a movie with my step-grandson, which was the last of the Star Wars, and it went on and on and on. So it was the last one, and he asked me at the end, "Oh, Nana, what did you think? Grandma, what did you think of it? Did you like it?" And I had to say yes, of course, but it was like, the fight at the end between the aliens, these, and the humans just went on and on and on and on. And Star Wars, all these lightsabers, oh my goodness. And so it was like it would never end. And that's how I think it feels for us. And I know that's how it feels for a lot of Christians, anyone who believes in Trump. It's like, is it ever going to end? But my battery is going to end, so I'm going to just quickly take you here and show you what I...
For 70 years, you have been watching a movie. A grand, global production filled with mysterious lights in the sky, secret government bases, and brave pilots telling hushed stories. The movie is called UFOs Over America. But what if the entire movie was a misdirection? A brilliant piece of theater designed to make you look left, while the real event was quietly being prepared on the right? What if the country that has spent the most money covering up the truth is the one place the truth will not be revealed? The choice of Peru is not arbitrary. It is a decision based on a profound...
Okay, I've got these Peruvian men, which I'd love to show you. So here they're just talking about the one place where they are going to come back to.
A family reunion for the souls who have been waiting for a very, very long time. The choice of Peru is not arbitrary. It is a decision based on a profound metaphysical blueprint. First, it is the location of one of the planet's primary lost sanctuaries. It is a major node in the awakening Lemurian heart grid. Where Atlantis represents the mind, this region represents the heart. The first contact must be a heart-centered event. Second, the historical lineage is direct. The Incan civilization was referred to by the superconscious as one of the most direct descendants of the Atlantean priest class. Their advanced knowledge was not developed, it was remembered. The return of the galactics to this region is the completion of a circle. Third, and most critically, is the frequency of the nation itself. Peru does not project a frequency of military aggression onto the world stage. It is not a nuclear power. It is not vying for global dominance. Its national energy is relatively neutral, making it a safe harbor for an event of this magnitude. The superconscious was clear. This will be the domino event, the moment that makes denial impossible. It will be witnessed by millions, filmed on every phone. It will be a gentle, beautiful, and world-shattering spectacle. The appearance of ships of light, holding a silent, peaceful vigil over the ancient, sacred sites. This event is designed to bypass governments and media. It is a direct communication to the people of Earth. The superconscious warned of the immediate aftermath, a period of global cognitive dissonance. The old power structures, governments, and media will scramble to control the narrative. Some will call it a hoax. Some will call it a threat. There will be chaos and confusion. But it will be too late. The truth will be out. It will be a truth bomb from which the old world can never recover. The quarantine will be shattered, not by force, but by a single, undeniable revelation. So, the domino event happens in Peru. The truth is out. The world is thrown into a beautiful, terrifying chaos of awakening. What happens next to you? The period immediately following open contact will be a time of immense energetic turbulence. It will be a global frequency test, on a scale never before seen. The superconscious was not just asked where contact would happen, but how we, as individuals, should navigate this unprecedented reality. The answers form a clear, three-part protocol. The rules of engagement for the post-contact world. Rule number 1. Disconnect from the fear broadcast. The immediate reaction of the old matrix, the media, the governments, the fear-based institutions, will be to try and control the narrative. They will broadcast fear, confusion, and division at maximum volume. Your first and most critical task is to unplug, turn off the television, log out of the chaotic social media feeds. Your guidance will not come from a screen, it will come from within. The galactics are communicating on a frequency of peace. To hear them, you must tune out the frequency of fear. This is non-negotiable. Rule number 2. Become an energetic anchor, not a preacher. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, they will be confused, scared. They will come to you because they have always known you were different. The temptation will be to preach, to say, "I told you so," to try and force-feed them decades of metaphysical knowledge in one afternoon. This, the superconscious warned, is a critical mistake. It comes from a place of ego and will be met with resistance. Your role is not to be a preacher. Your role is to be an anchor of calm. You do not need to explain quantum physics. You just need to be peace. Listen to their fears without judgment. Offer them a cup of tea. Radiate a frequency of absolute, unwavering calm. In a world gone mad, the person who is not panicking becomes the leader. Your calm will be the most powerful sermon you could ever deliver. It is the frequency that will heal them, not your words. Rule number 3, await your personal invitation. The final rule is the most important. Open contact is not a single event. It is the beginning of a process. The arrival of the ships is a global announcement. What follows is a series of personal invitations. The superconscious explained, once the planetary frequency is stable, those who are ready will be contacted. It will not be a mass landing in a park. It will be personal, in your dream state, in your meditations. A telepathic invitation to communicate, to learn, to share. They are waiting for you to signal your readiness. They will not and cannot violate your free will. Your work, then, is to signal your readiness. You do this by practicing the first 2 rules, by maintaining a clear, calm, high...
Now that there, if you go to my videos, I'll link it, that is what was over Wanganui on Good Friday. You'll notice this bright spot in the middle, the heat, and it sat there for 45 minutes, bolt still. And I believed it was like taking, you know, information or something like that, or else just releasing, I don't know, but it was just like, when I see her there, it's as if the ship was doing that, just maybe, you know.
Frequency state. You prepare your landing zone within your own consciousness. You make yourself a welcoming harbor. You are not waiting for them. You are inviting them. These 3 rules are your survival guide for the 100 days following first contact. Disconnect, anchor, invite. It is a protocol of profound simplicity and immense power.
Okay, so this, I'll leave the link to that as well. But these are my Peruvian men, and of course, so this is all to do with my Mayan sign and everything like that. You know, just before we came to this place, I went to this sort of auction house, and I bought, you know, there was actually it was a lovely silver half smashed mirror, antique mirror, and you get to offer a certain, you know, they have a box, and it's going to cost you so much, and you have no idea what was in it. Well, lo and behold, these babies were in it, and aren't they just gorgeous? So that it's pottery, it's amazing. I just love them to pieces, you know. But this is, you know, what we're talking about, and these are the people who have kept the ancient mysteries, and you know, this is what we have got to go back to, you know. And the Ouroboros, the Eye of Ra, which I showed you, which I believe is my Sirius sign, you know, which has the Eye of Ra in it here, which is, you know, his eye, who can open the doors of his face. That's Job. His teeth are filled with terror. That, you know, represents his teeth. That's the you know, the tribulation, filled with terror. He beholdeth all things that are high. He is king over all the children of pride. Well, that's where we're at with this time, where pride is everything. And so here is my Sirius sign, and you can see there that there is the Eye of Ra.
I'm taking a movie here.
In the middle of that, flashing. So I saw that at the time that Trump's, at his first election, it's hexagonal, but you can see the actual triangle as well, the same image that's on the American dollar note. I'm not doing anything with the focus. For those of you who haven't seen this video before, it's that planet or star is just exploding on its own accord, and there's also a sound associated with it as well.
I wonder why it doesn't look like the 3 stories like it is the other nights. It changes.
Okay, I'll leave the link of that up to that as well. You can look that up. So this is what it says about the Eye of Ra. So it's all to do with Trump being the arrow, just as Jesus was the arrow who, like in my dream, it took one person. So what could I do for that woman? As I saw there, all I can do is pray, because these ships will not. And I've been promising a video that I still haven't got around to. It's so deep, but it's on the same sort of topic, and it's about the aliens, but that they will not. Take away our free will. We have to ask them. And so that is what I got from the dream this morning, is that I am an anchor. They talked about, that we are these anchors, these portal places. So that they won't invade us. We have to invite them. And so I specifically just asked then for the rescue of that woman, and I tell you the truth, I asked for the destruction of that man as well, because I believe that these people are reverting, that they are Nephilim, that they have the traits of the Nephilim, and that this is a Noah moment as well. So I'm just asking for God's righteous judgment to come upon and actually just wipe out the seed of Satan, wipe out all of those who are just terrorizing, and that they would go through what they do to others, because that was the horror. It was the enjoyment. Here she was standing so strong, trying to be so strong, but she knew that it just doing that meant she was going to get pummeled, that he was going to nearly kill her, and I watched a video recently in New Zealand. It's just so horrendous. There's a story of this woman who for 16 years was kept hostage by a gang guy, and in one instance he actually tied a rope around her neck and dragged her all the way down the road behind his car, and she lived like that with all her whānau, so-called family, all these people, all within earshot, and not a single person went in to help her, so that's kind of, God has to come in and do something for the children, for the innocent, for the children, for the woman. So the Eye of Ra, back to that again, we're talking about the epic cycle begins with the fabled union of Uranus and Ge. So this is that other dream that I had when heaven and earth, it was heaven and earth are joined together. That was a wake me up when September ends. I had this dream, wake me up when September ends, and then I saw this my old love coming out of his office, and a huge movie screen on the walls, and the song "Wake Me Up When September Ends," was playing, and my daughter was underneath my elbow, and the ground was springing, and a lovely woman called Cindy Ann, when she heard my dream, because it was like the green and the blue joined, so that signified the green of the earth and the blue of the sky, but also growth and what is it? Intuition, spirit, and that's what's happening to all of those of us who are going through this terror. But even though it looks horrible, many are rising out of it. Many are looking to away from the screens, away from those places where you have got your information, people that you've trusted, and they're starting to look inwards. And that is what is happening, that heaven and earth, the sky and the earth, are being married, and this is what the Eye of Ra talks about. It says, these first gods, the Titans, were seemingly birthed from the union of the celestial serpent and the earth, and as occurs in myths, the sons retained attributes of the father. The Cyclops possessed the one-eyed characteristics of the Ouroboros, and just like in Job, it says, which it says, who can open the doors of his face? Well, that's me opening it. This is the time I recognise that face. I recognise the eye. He says, his eye is ever open and sleepeth not, for it continually keepeth watch. So that's why all the Illuminati just do this one-eyed thing. The mystery schools and fraternity of builders throughout history have used variations of the eye symbol, the Eye of Ra, the all-seeing eye, which commemorates the sign of the marriage of heaven and earth when the advent of the gods and sages occurred. The first builder gods who imparted knowledge to men were associated with the great eye in the sky, the heavenly source for their knowledge. All right, so hopefully that all makes sense. Now is the time, and hopefully I've got enough battery, it's still there, to actually show you that latest UFO that I filmed on Easter Friday, on Good Friday, and it came back. It was about a week later, and the week later, I I didn't have my little this little movie camera. All I had was a phone, so I wasn't able to capture. I wasn't able to zoom, but because it was a phone, I have that app, which the Skywatch, Freeview Skywatch, where you can look at all the planets, and because of that, on the bottom of the screen, if it's a star, it'll tell you what star it was. So here it is there. Okay. And it said Olori, Olori, which was, it wasn't two O's, it was O and a zero, Olori, and I looked it up. So there was no planet called Olori, but I looked it up, and it meant the Queen Mother's throne, or something like that. It was. So can you see it there? So if I open it, unfortunately, it will. So it's just this one here, and it looks. You can see the bright light source at the bottom there, exactly as it is in the other ones, and it was called Olori, and it just sat completely still for 45 minutes, and then when it did disappear, it just went. So these are all the other little versions of it. So I did it all in segments and then put it together. So yeah, so anyway, that's all, and I've still got battery. I can't believe it. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Anything else I want to say? That don't panic. The video that I am going to show you, will also be talking about the subject, and it will show you that there are evil ones, but they're the good ones. They're different forces. There's not just one group, but I believe, well, I don't know what to do. I'm just showing you what I show you, and I'm not going to preach. So that's all. Goodbye.